Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Here we are discussing regarding the 1983 World Cup from a cricket lover's perspective. In this episode, we will hear about an innings that's like a fairy tale to every Indian cricket lover. Yes, we will discuss about the 175 not out innings played by Kapil Dev. Along with our panelists, today we have Mr. Shayan and Mr. Krishnamurthy. Let's hear from them.
Remember those words? Dhoni finishes off in style, 2011 World Cup finals, where Dhoni hit that brilliant six to get us the World Cup. Probably the precursor to it, where it started, that fearless brand of cricket that we played or we play now, where it all started would probably be 1983 India versus Zimbabwe, the game that Kapil Dev won single-handedly.
Thank you, Mr. Shayan. We will catch up and hear more from you at the end of this video. Mr. Krishnamurthy, what do you remember about that innings?
I would like to recall my memory of the match between India and Zimbabwe in the 1983 World Cup. In that match, Kapil Dev played a very memorable innings. India started disastrously against the Zimbabwe bowling attack, losing about 5 wickets for less than a paltry score of 20 runs. And at that juncture, Kapil Dev stepped in and he scored a very whirlwind inning of 175 in a very quick time to reach the first inning score of to post a score of more than 250 runs.
Thank you, Mr. Krishnamurthy. Let us find out from other speakers on why was this a fairy tale of an innings. To the favorite and the famous Tunbridge Wells match versus Zimbabwe. Mr. Kalidas, what do you remember about that match?
Well, I remember hearing the commentary, all right. I mean, it was 17 for 5 and I switched off. I thought that probably we'll be all out for about 80 odd. Then after an hour or so, I kind of again switched on and probably we were at that point in time around 100 or thereabouts. So I thought that let me listen into it. And I kept hearing. And then when India scored, I think about 260 or so, I knew the match was won, which is Kapil Dev 175 not out was something unbelievable. As luck would have it, that innings has never been recorded because if you recall, there was a flash strike by the BBC cameraman, and it was never on video because BBC had the rights of televising all the matches, and the cameraman were on a flash strike. So I mean, it was one of those fairy tale innings, and I thought. Mani played an unbelievable hand by keeping one end up, and this is one of the greatest innings in my view in all-time great innings in one-day cricket because the rest of the innings. I mean, you have Tendulkar's double hundred, you have got Rohit Sharma's 364. But then these were not innings which were played under circumstances as 17 for 5. And secondly, the other thing was that these guys today are so experienced in the limited over game. And Kapil Dev, I don't think had played too much of one-day cricket before that. And to bat under that kind of a situation and as captain to pull the team from 17 for 5 was simply, fairy tale stuff. And I thought. I didn't have any hope of Zimbabwe pulling it off after we scored 260. So that was the one match which really, rekindled our hopes, and I felt that yes, India was after that game, India was a country, just unbelievable.
Mr. Surya, what do you remember about that?
Yeah, we were 17 for 5 and very quickly we were about, I think, 77 when the 6th and the 7th wicket also fell. Kirmani was the last person to join Kapil Dev, and they had a partnership of around 125 runs. Kirmani scored about 27, but of course he played the second role very well. Uh, that innings would easily perhaps go down as one of the greatest ever played. Not because of just the World Cup and he was a captain, and then because we had to win that match. If you lose that match, we would have been out of the World Cup, because then it boils down to the run rate and other stuff, because Zimbabwe had beaten Australia also. So it was very important. And then the ball was really moving around. Zimbabwe had a bowler called Rawson, and Rawson was unplayable that day. 17 for 5, it was primarily because of Rawson. Rawson was unplayable. Nobody could read him the way it was swinging. And I think he backed his instinct, Kapil Dev, and he just played his natural game. And he played as if there is no tomorrow. And that particular innings perhaps will go down in the history of Indian cricket as one which put India ahead of most of the other teams and put us on the big map of world cricket.
Like Mr. Kalidas said, he said that after a particular phase, he switched off the radio. Did you also go through the same sort of feelings, or did you think, no, we can still do this, and you continued watching it?
They were a very good fielding side. Yes. They had one or two extremely good bowlers, and Rawson was one of them. And Rawson was reaching towards the end of his 12-over spell also. So Kapil Dev being still there was a hope that at least we can put up a total of around 125, 140. So the hope was still there. I said, we reached a stage where we were believing as fans that we were not going to be fooled. So that kept the interest alive.
Mr. Narayanan, you were in Libya at that time. So how did you follow this match? I know everyone would have followed it only on radio because there was a BBC strike. Did you get to follow this?
Actually, I didn't get a chance to follow this game at all, because I was wholly dependent on BBC only for all the cricket commentaries. And this match, I in fact don't remember at all as having got the news, other than that India has won the match at the end. That's all I knew, and Kapil Dev scored 175 not out. This is what I think I heard, that's all.
In fact, BBC radio commentary was also off because of the strike.
The radio commentary was also off. Otherwise, I was getting radio commentary only in Libya.
We got all India radio.
This particular match, I had no, information at all, except in the evening or something when I got the news that India has won the match. But what I was told when I read somewhere or something, that even if India had lost this match, it probably would not have affected very much, because the next match with Australia was the most important one, where India was, it was a must-win match for India, that winning that Australia match. That would have only taken us, through to the on the ways of net run rate, and then we could have gone to the semi-finals. So that was actually the match which was affecting. But even probably if you had lost it also, probably it doesn't affect. That's what I'm told.
And this brings a very interesting perspective. This 175 not out by Kapil Dev was the first one-day century by an Indian batsman. We have played 75 World Cup, 79 World Cup. We have played a bit one days, but this is the first time that a batsman has scored a century. Indian batsman has scored. The match versus Australia, which we lost, there Kapil Dev took 5 wickets. And that was the first time an Indian bowler in one-day international had taken 5 wickets. So that shows the aura of that man. He was not that much experienced from a captaincy perspective, but the sheer natural athleticism, the sheer natural playing capability is shown in these two matches.
So, Mr. Shayan, this incredible innings, as our speaker said, the best ODI innings considering the situation we were in. What was going through your mind at that time?
I remember the evening. It was there was a load shedding, so we were stuck to the transistor, and in comes India. Gavaskar gone, Shrikant gone, Mohinder Ramannath gone, and before you could think, we were 17 for 5, and at 4 wickets down came Kapil Dev. All right, I remember listening to the commentary, switching it off at times when so many wickets fell around, then switching it back after some time and hearing that, okay, these guys are still batting. So Kapil Dev started putting in partnerships, right? So he scored 175 which was almost 70% of the runs. And he played down the ground most of his initial 80-90. 175 was the highest ODI score at that point in time, which Viv Richards broke subsequently, and then it was Saeed Anwar's turn. Till such time, we have started watching quite a few double centuries by the likes of Sachin, Rohit Sharma, Martin Guptill, and so on and so forth. Now, I remember that Zimbabwe game for two things. One, as a kid, I was hoping that we'll get past that 150, 160 mark somehow with Kapil Dev. Because if you remember the previous game, we had Zimbabwe had managed to score somewhere around 156, 57, and we managed to beat them pretty easily. So we thought that it could be at par score. But then Kapil Dev changed the entire gamut of things altogether, and it was such a brilliant display, and it just turned things around. It gave us so much of confidence as a country, because there is a lot of social connect to this game that we just worship. So if we see today people from the villages or the smaller towns coming in and playing for the country and playing fearless brand of cricket, we owe it to Kapil Dev Nikhanj, who was not a brilliant English speaker, came from Chandigarh, and was refused number of chapatis on the count of the fact that India doesn't produce fast bowlers. He changed the entire gamut of things, entire complexion of things, entire thought process of us Indians. As a 24-year-old captain, he played a captain's innings. And remember, we were coming back from defeats, very bad defeats in Pakistan and in West Indies, right? So 1983 India versus Zimbabwe, Kapil Dev 175 would remain etched in the memory as one of the battles that we won in the quest of the war that we won, which was the 1983 World Cup.
So then we went and we defeated Australia as well in the next match. We defeated them by 118 runs. So and that was a match, like Mr. Narayanan said, that was very important. And when we defeated them by such a huge margin, it made the entry to the semi-finals easy.
The fairy tale innings and the subsequent victory versus Australia ensured that we were in the semi-finals. But we now had to face the hosts England, who were also the runners-up of the previous edition of the World Cup in 1979. To know what happened next, stay tuned for the next episode.